Welcome once again to the NCV Mathematics Level 2. Today we are looking at quadratic equations, how to solve them, and a quadratic equation by factorization. Now we must remember quadratic equations is where we have x squared. So in my first example we've got x squared plus 2x minus 8. This is not a linear equation. This is a quadratic equation. So for us to solve x, we cannot now just simply move 8 over as we did in the previous video. We first have to factorize this, and if you do not know how to factorize a quadratic equation, please go back to the video on factorization. You will find the method over there. But to factorize, we must first of all factorize the trinomial. Again, I say go back to the video on factorizing trinomials. But the factors would be, for this x squared plus 2x minus 8, x plus 4 and x minus 2. So we will factorize x squared plus 2x minus 8 and we'll get x plus 4, x minus 2. Now we can say that x plus 4 is equal to 0, the one bracket, as well as the x minus 2 is the other bracket, is also equal to x minus is also equal to 0. The x minus 2 is also equal to 0. Both of them then will be our values, and we can now solve for x. They are now linear, x plus 4. So remember, we can solve x here by just simply taking over the 4. It will become a minus 4, and we can solve the x there by taking over the 2. It will become a plus 2. That would be the answer for solving x. It will be two values in a quadratic equation. In this case, x equal to minus 4 and x equal to 2. We can test, of course, or check our answer by substituting these values back into the original equation, and we should get an answer of 0 in both cases. Substituting x minus 4 will give me minus 4 squared plus 2 minus 4 times minus 4 minus 8. And that will give me 16 minus 8 minus 8, which does give me a equal answer of 0. And if we substitute our x equal 2 back in, we also find 2 squared, 2 times 2 minus 8 gives me 4 plus 4 minus 8, which also gives me 0. So minus 4, x equal to minus 4 does satisfy my equation, as well as x minus 2 does satisfy my equation. We of course don't always check our answers. There might not be time, so this is only if you have the time to do it in the examination, then you can check your answers. In my next problem, I've got 6x squared plus 6 minus 13x. The first thing about this problem is that it's not in the standard form where we have our x squared, then x, then our number. So to solve this, we first need to rearrange it in order. So 6x squared minus 13. See what happens to the 13 when it's moved. Remember that rule that we say when we move things, we have to change the calculation. That is a plus 13 becomes minus 13. The 6 stays over this side, and we've got our quadratic equation. Again, we now first have to factorize. Look at how to factorize on the previous videos. But the factors of this would be, we've got 3x minus 2 as our first factors, and 2x minus 3 is our next set of factors. We've done that through the trinomial, and we will again say 3x minus 2 then is going to be equal to 0, or the other bracket 2x minus 3 is going to be equal to 0. We can solve x here by saying take the 2 over, it becomes plus 2, divide by 3, and we've got an answer of x equal to 3 over 2 on this side. On the other side, we've got 2x minus 3, and we move over the 2 over there, we got 3 over 2 on the other side. So that would be our values for x in this case. We can test that answer, but we don't have the time always to do that. In my next problem, we've got 3x squared plus 18 plus 27. This is again a trinomial. But before we can factorize it, we can see that 3, 18, 27 can have a common. 3 can divide in 18, 3 can divide in 27. So first take out the common factor in this case, which will make our factorization now easier. You can factorize that, but it will be more difficult than to factorize this. So this 3 now is actually becoming useless here because it doesn't have the x in. So we can get rid of this x by this 3 by dividing by 3 on both sides, and we only have the x squared plus 6x plus 9 left. So the 3 has disappeared. in the fact that we have divided by 3 on both sides. So we've got x squared plus 6x plus 9 left. We can factorize this. Much easier to factorize than 3x squared plus 18. And when we do factorize that, we will find the factors to be x plus 3 and x plus 3. In this case, the x factors are both the same, so we don't need to do this twice over now. We can just simply take one bracket, which is x plus 3, and say that is equal to 0, move over the 3, and x will be equal to minus 3. So it's actually two of them, 2x minus 3's will be our values we can put in there.